On this week's episode of Create, Consume, Repeat, I review the Analogue MegaSG, a hardware-based reimagining of the Sega Genesis hardware that does way more than advertised. Trust me. During my recent visit to PAX East, I found myself lost in a sea of people, bombarded by the sights and sounds of upcoming game releases. Yet somehow, amongst all of that carnage, I found myself standing in a booth that specialized in retro gaming. Go figure. Maybe it was the lack of sleep or the nerd energy on the showroom floor, but my heart swooned when I saw the original Sega Genesis still in the original packaging. But just as I opened my wallet, I realized connecting a Sega Genesis to a modern flat screen TV would be it'd be a nightmare. Sure, I could purchase a composite cable to HDMI converter, but then the sharp 16-bit pixel art would be compromised. I could be a purist and purchase an old-school CRT-based television, but even that solution isn't ideal since I live in New York City, and living space, well, it's at a premium.
Rent, it's too damn high.
Software emulation is always an option, but I care about latency, legality, and I want to play on the big screen while sitting on my couch. I guess I just want it all. Or maybe, just maybe, I get all hardcore and purchase an upscaler like the FrameMeister or the open source scale converter. But even those options have drawbacks like television compatibility, cost, and having to hook it up and get it working properly all by myself. Yeek! Undeterred and clearly obsessed with playing old school classics like Streets of Rage 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Ghouls and Ghosts to name a few, I began to search for a better way to re-experience the magic of my youth. The Analogue MegaSG is advertised as a reimagining of the underdog that led a 16-bit revolution, featuring Altera Cyclone 5 FPGA hardware, 1080p resolution, zero lag, high-quality digital audio, compatibility with the 2000 plus Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and Master System game library, and yes, you can even hook up your Sega CD. Now, I'll be the first to admit, this feature list sounds too good to be true, but I can assure you the Analogue MegaSG delivers total accuracy. I threw everything at it. Classics like Revenge of Shinobi and Sonic the Hedgehog 2, lesser known titles like Ghouls and Ghosts and Rolling Thunder 2, and technically challenging games like The Adventures of Batman and Robin and Virtual Racing. Not a single hiccup. Crazy! And for those retro gaming zealots out there, the MegaSG offers a ton of customization. I mean, scaling options, dither blending, border masking, scan lines, interpolation, low pass filter, ladder effect. Oh my God, the list goes on and on. But don't worry, this isn't going to be an in-depth technical video about all the device's features and options. There are better qualified people with actual engineering degrees that can provide you with all that info. Digital Foundry doing the best job, in my humble opinion. Now, with all that said and done, none of these features capture what makes the Analogue MegaSG so freaking special.
This device isn't a spaceship. It's a time machine. It takes us to a place where we ache to go again.
It brought me back to those late nights of playing NHL 94 with my big brother, the sense of wonder felt playing Phantasy Star for the first time, and even a dark period in my life when I had to cope with the grief and loss of a loved one. It unlocked a ton of emotions and an incredible sense of nostalgia. And yes, I'm aware that up until the turn of the century, nostalgia, well, it was considered unhealthy. No, seriously, look it up.
Nostalgia is denial. Denial of the painful present.
But only recently have scientists begun to explore the feeling of nostalgia. A new paper authored by a psychologist at the University of Southampton in England asserts that nostalgia does not cement us in the past, but actually raises our spirit, serving a positive function, improving mood, and possibly mental health. And yes, I'm well aware that our brains have a tendency to embellish and sweeten details, but the Analogue MegaSG is the first time I've ever revisited a relic of my past and had it exceed my original memory. And that speaks volumes about the engineering in this box. So if you find yourself yearning for a relic of your past, like the original Optimus Prime you owned as a kid, or a MegaSG, Give in. It may give you the boost you need to deal with a current challenge or to simply feel better, not just about the past or the present, but also your future. And let's be honest, we all want to be a kid again, at least for a little while. And no, I'm not talking about Peter Pan syndrome. That's a different video. I'd love to hear your thoughts regarding nostalgia, the MegaSG, or your favorite Sega Genesis games. Just drop a comment in the section below, and if you want to show me some love, hit the thumbs up button. But more importantly, smash that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Catch you guys later.